This week, Siskel and Ebert review cops Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes investigating a mysterious death in Rising Sun. Mike Myers worries about his new wife in So I Married an Axe Murderer. And Mel Brooks revisits Sherwood Forest in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
What's true? When something looks too good to be true, then it's not true. Everything she said about Eddie might have been true. But the real question is, why was she saying it?
Okay, why was she saying it?
Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes have a relationship like Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson in Rising Sun, one of the new movies we'll review this week on Siskel and Ebert, along with movies about chess players, axe murderers, and men in tights. I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times.
They're not all in the same film, although that actually might make a good picture. I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. Our first film is Rising Sun, and it's based on Michael Crichton's best-selling novel that used the thriller genre to expose some of the unspoken hatreds between the United States and Japan that have built up during the post-war Asiatic economic boom. But I found the movie to be utterly confusing simply on the level of a thriller. Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes play L.A. detectives assigned to investigate the mysterious death of a beautiful young woman in the boardroom of a Japanese corporation. Connery is more familiar with Japanese protocol, as he explains to Snipes.
When you start to get into trouble, you'll hear me say, perhaps I can be of assistance. From then on, I do the talking. You stand behind me, and don't appear distracted. We may come from a fragmented MTV rap video culture, but they do not.
One of the basic problems with the movie is that we don't care about the dead woman or any of the Japanese characters who might be responsible for her death. And that's a pretty big failing in a thriller. The result is we're left watching Connery and Snipes do their thing as they investigate a prime suspect.
You know her better than that. You're putting her up with the Imperial Arms.
Oh, that's her. Oh, I know her real well. She's all over me, Kona-san.
You're irresistible, Eddie.
Well, that's true. Kona-san, she had a big problem. She was a sick girl. She liked pain.
Another hackneyed scene is when Wesley Snipes gets the upper hand as he and Connery tour a ghetto neighborhood. Now, we've seen this scene many times before. The white guy is an idiot in a black neighborhood.
Don't stare at these guys. Keep your hands down. These guys don't like big arm movements. They might shoot you. Now, if you hear me say, can I be of any assistance? It's too late. You can kiss your little ass goodbye.
Now, Connery's discomfort there is totally inconsistent with his character's smarts elsewhere in the movie. He's supposed to be a worldly wise, world-class detective. But in the black neighborhood, he's just another dumb white guy. Again, the big problem, however, with the movie is the solution of the murder case. It means nothing to us. Reportedly, they changed the identity of the killer from the book. I don't think it would have mattered one bit if they stuck with the book. Rising Sun just doesn't work.
It didn't work for me either.
Wow.
I agree with all of your points. It's confusing. It's very, very hard to follow. And when you do follow it, it doesn't lead to anywhere that you're interested in.
Do you care?
All of the rigmarole about the laser discs and re-editing them is just a complete smokescreen to put a lot of computers on the screen that mean nothing, basically.
Yes.
And there's another problem, too, and that's the tiresome relationship between Connery and Snipes. Apart from the scene you pointed out, in almost every other scene, Connery is omnipotent. He understands the mind of the East.
Yes.
He understands the mind of the West. He knows what everybody's going to be doing next. It's like he's sitting there saying, this is what they'll do now, and then they do, and Snipes is always nodding.
And yet we're still confused.
And yet we're still confused, even though he knows everything. He doesn't explain it. The one thing about the movie, you know, there's been a lot of publicity about whether it does Japan bashing, and really it doesn't. In fact, if I were from Japan, I would be rather insulted that the Japanese characters were diminished, and all of the people in the movie of any importance, including all of the bad guys, are Americans.
It has...
You don't even there's not even one Japanese villain. They got shortchanged.
There's nothing interesting about a single Japanese person in this picture. This film was directed by Phil Kaufman, one of our favorite directors.
Yes, he is.
Boy, he blew it this time.
Not this time. Okay, next movie, and our next movie is Tom and Jerry, the movie, the first feature-length film starring the famous Cat and Mouse, who appeared in close to 100 cartoon shorts over the years. A lot of the film will look familiar to Tom and Jerry fans, like this scene where Jerry, as usual, is tormenting Tom with all sorts of bone-bending practical jokes. But there's something very new this time around. For the first time in history, Tom and Jerry talk. Yes, they have speaking voices and speaking roles in a story about how they try to help the daughter of a famous explorer.
You have any idea where Tibet is?
No, it's way out there. Put your finger here, please.
It's across the river.
Into the woods.
Over the hills.
It's past Cleveland.
The young girl's inheritance is about to be stolen by her unscrupulous aunt and an unethical lawyer.
Starlings lying in some godforsaken native shack on a mountainside in Tibet. Maybe every bone in his body is broken. If we're lucky.
Well, in those clips, you can see what's good and bad about Tom and Jerry, the movie. The animation is fun, and the movie's visual look is entertaining. But by making Tom and Jerry talk, the movie loses the pure comedy of the cartoon shorts, where everything depended on situations and action. Now, there's a plot to talk about, and a dumb plot, as human characters upstage the cat and the mouse. It's kind of ironic that Tom and Jerry would be relegated to supporting roles in their own feature film debut behind that little girl they're trying to help, who is just as boring as every other little cartoon girl you can think of.
I agree with you. The drawing has that 50s look that's idealized.
Even the color is just right.
It has. I just stared at that because it was kind of fun to see, you know, the post-war American ideal home and the lawn and all that and the picket fence. But why have Tom and Jerry talk? I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. There's no need, and they give them these sort of Sesame Street voices. I mean, it sounds almost a little bit like Jim Henson there, to make them warm and cuddly. That isn't the point. They weren't supposed to be warm.
They're not cute. They're not cute. They're in a battle to the death.
A chase.
You know, basically, you know, the underlying dynamic of a Tom and Jerry cartoon is that Tom wants to eat Jerry, and Jerry wants Tom to be flattened under an anvil, and that's the kind of magic that they're missing.
Let's hope they don't get with the Roadrunner and the Coyote and make them talk. That would be another disaster. Coming up next, Robin Hood, Men in Tights, the latest Mel Brooks comedy.
Man, white men can't jump.
That's Cary Elwes as Robin Hood in Mel Brooks' latest comedy, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. And here we have the sad case of a once hysterically funny filmmaker who has clearly lost his touch. Mel Brooks desperately recycles his own jokes from earlier movies while pacing this film so slowly, it's as if he hasn't seen any of the recent movie parodies like the Naked Gun and Hot Shots films. Here, Robin, Cary Elwes, and his black buddy named Achoo, isn't that a funny name, trade obvious gags.
Watch my back! Your bag just got punched twice. Thank you.
The bad guys, of course, are the Sheriff of Rottingham, Roger Reese, and Prince John, played by Richard Lewis, who proves to be a genuinely bad actor in the scene. Look at how uncomfortable he is. He knows this is bombing. He doesn't know where to look.
He wants to see your hand. We're in an awful lot of trouble.
Naturally, there has to be a big dance number in a Mel Brooks comedy, but this one is dull.
We're men in tights, tights. Always on guard, defending the people's rights. When you're in the fix, just call for the men in tights. We're bunch.
And Mel Brooks appears at the end to trot out some tired Jewish jokes as he prepares to marry Robin and Maid Marian.
I'm on my last custom. I'll be right out. Put a little ice on it, it'll be fine.
Robin Hood, Men in Tights could have been made 15 years ago, except Mel Brooks would have made it better then. The movie plods along, the jokes are painfully obvious, sorry to say, but Mel Brooks appears to have lost his way.
I didn't laugh either, Gene. I really didn't genuinely laugh once during the entire movie. And in particular, I wonder why Mel thinks that circumcision jokes are funny.
Still,
on and on and on. I mean, it's like, it's at the level of a really second-rate Friars Club roast or something. It doesn't belong in a movie like this. And as far as the Robin Hood parody, he's taken the Kevin Costner movie and basically kind of followed it along with... Kind of you know, changing things a little bit. It's not basically funny, and they're not really good targets. I mean, Robin Hood is so bizarre anyway that you can't make him more bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why they thought this could be made funny, and they certainly didn't. Do you know what I'm talking about the pacing, the slowness?
Oh yeah, everybody says their lines, you know, as if they had all day.
You know why? Because they didn't write enough jokes. The Zucker, Abrahams, and Zucker gang have changed movie comedy and saying, throw lots of jokes in.
Yeah, have stuff happening in the background at the same time, so you get 2 jokes for the price of 1. When we come back, Mike Myers in his first movie since Wayne's World. It's called So I Married an Axe Murderer.
My dad's a butcher, and I used to work at a shop. I can help you.
I'd love some help. Great. What's your name?
Oh, my name's Charlie.
Hi, Harriet.
Hi, Harriet.
Could you get me 4 porterhouses in the fridge?
Okay.
Mike Myers meets Nancy Travis, the woman of his dreams, in a butcher shop there and starts falling in love in So I Married an Axe Murderer. Luckily, they share a love of meat cutting. Myers in the movie is a San Francisco poet whose parents are immigrants from Scotland. When he takes a cop buddy, played by Anthony LaPaglia, home for dinner, we get a taste of their Scots eccentricity.
Well, it's a well-known fact, Sonny Jim, that there's a secret society of the 5 wealthiest people in the world, known as the Pentaverate, who run everything in the world, including the newspapers, and meet tri-annually at a secret country mansion in Colorado known as the Meadows.
So who's in this Pentaverate?
The Queen, the Vatican, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, and Colonel Sanders before he went tits up.
Myers is playing both the son and the father there in a dual role. Brenda Fricker plays his mother, a faithful reader of the lurid supermarket tabloids.
She marries men under fake identities, and then she murders them. And she's murdered 3 men already. Look, victim number 1 was a lounge singer. Victim number 2, a Russian martial arts expert.
No.
Myers begins to suspect that Travis, the woman he loves, may in fact be the infamous axe murderer. All of the pieces of the puzzle seem to fit.
She once told me that she dated a martial arts expert, all right? Now, it says right here that one of the victims was a martial arts expert, okay? And last night at dinner, she put a kung fu move on my dad and tried to break his neck.
Charlie, about 1,000 people have tried to break your father's neck. I mean, should I arrest them too?
So I Married an Axe Murderer is not a complete success. It meanders and it has some slow patches, but it also contains some very funny sequences, most of them involving the hero's family and their love for the traditions of Scotland. Myers is very funny playing the father, especially in a scene where he complains that his other son has a head that's too big. And when the mother says, oh, don't be so hard on the boy, he says, let him cry himself to sleep on his giant, ugly pillow. I can't quite recommend this movie. It's too uneven, but there's a lot of good stuff in it. This is the kind of movie that's waiting for you in the video store in about 6 months where the stakes aren't so high. That would be the time to see it.
I had the same reaction. 2 movies. One, the axe murderer stuff and the romance with Nancy Travis doesn't work at all, isn't funny.
No.
But the Scottish material is absolutely hilarious. So I wish that what they would have done was to have made a Scottish-American comedy. It would have been totally bizarre and just dropped the other stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's the stuff that works. And Mike Myers is really very funny in that role.
You can see, you know, what happens is they get involved in the plot and they think it's important as to whether or not she's an axe murderer. And the love story, it's like these days, a comedy has to have a love story.
Yeah.
And basically, you're absolutely right that if they just stayed in that living room for 2 hours,
yes,
it would have been
hilarious.
As funny as Wayne's World.
I mean, yes, it could have been a completely original American comedy. Coming up next, an unusual drama, Searching for Bobby Fischer, about a real-life chess prodigy.
Oh, good. Yeah. What's that?
Nate.
Our next film is something special, a charming drama about a real-life chess prodigy who is obviously influenced by the stunning triumph of the American Bobby Fischer as he took away the World Championship of Chess from Russia at the height of the Cold War in the 70s. Searching for Bobby Fischer is based on the true story of Josh Waitzkin, now the #1 ranking U.S. chess player under the age of 18. As a boy, we see him display his special talent in a game with his father, played by Joe Mantegna. Max Pomerantz is very appealing as the kid.
Move my horse in front of my king.
You mean your knight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Did you do it?
Yeah?
Can we go out now?
Well, the game's not over yet, Josh.
Yes, it is.
The prodigy is soon sent for coaching to a retired chess guru played by Ben Kingsley. He's reluctant to take the boy on until he sees him play. What's refreshing about Searching for Bobby Fischer is that it's a positive story about God-given talent and about respecting that talent, as the kid's father tries to explain to one of his son's teachers.
Mr. Waiskin, I think perhaps...
You want to know how good he is? I'll tell you how good he is. He's better at this than I have ever been at anything in my life. He is better at this than you'll ever be at anything. My son has a gift. He has a gift, and once you acknowledge that, then maybe we'll have something to talk about.
The story does evolve into a big match finale, but it's really not necessary, and the way they handle the big match is refreshing. I was won over, however, long before that, because this film is about relationships and respect as well as genius. This is rare. We like this kid as much because he's a good person as for his chess-playing ability. Maybe even more because he's such a good person. I think young people will really respond to Searching for Bobby Fischer. I know their parents will, too.
Yeah, this is a very rare movie about a child sportsman, if you will.
Yes.
That is not for kids, really. It's for anyone of intelligence. And
Yes.
It's a very interesting film about how, even though chess is a game of war and your whole objective is to destroy your opponent, that doesn't mean you have to be a bad guy. And that's kind of the argument going on between this sweet kid and his parents and the guru. As a chess player, I found the movie interesting because they've gotten around the problem that it would be very boring to show chess games and most of the audience might not know how to play chess.
Yes.
And so they deal with chess in a pictorial way that completely skirts the issue of the rules of the game or the moves. You can look at this movie and enjoy it without knowing anything about chess.
That's because I think that they did, unlike other sports movies where the sport is so critical, here it's the personalities of the players, and they're written well, and this Max Pomerantz does a real good job. He's on camera a lot, and he's very good.
It's really one of the best movies so far this year.
I think so.
When we come back, our video pick of the week, an Oscar-winning performance that is finally on video.
Siskel and Ebert's video pick of the week, brought to you by Orville Redenbacher, the first and last name in popcorn.
It's time now for our video pick of the week, and my selection this week is The Three Faces of Eve, a movie you've probably heard about. It's a very famous title, but maybe you haven't seen it, since until this week it was not available on home video. Joanne Woodward won the 1957 Academy Award for Best Actress for her starring performance as a troubled mother who turns out to have a personality that is split three ways. She's a sheltered Southern housewife.
First I get this terrible headache, and then I get this spell.
A seductive temptress.
Hi.
And a smart, sensible woman.
You remember Dr. Day?
How do you do, Doctor?
How do you do?
Oh, well, then you must be Dr.
Luther.
Luther. Yes, of course. I should have known.
You mean you have heard of me?
Yes, through both Eve White and Eve Black.
Not unfavorably, I trust.
On the contrary, they think very highly of you, both of them.
The Three Faces of Eve was based on a factual book and generated enormous interest in the 1950s when multiple personalities were just starting to be studied. For Joanne Woodward, it was an opportunity early in her career to essentially play three different women, and this is the movie that established her as one of our leading actresses. It's now finally available on video, and I recommend it. Now let's take another look at the movies we reviewed this week. We both vote thumbs down for Rising Sun, a potentially interesting story. It gets bogged down in confusing plot twists and a tedious relationship between the cops played by Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes. Two more thumbs down for Tom and Jerry, the movie. It misses the magic of the original cat and mouse relationship, and it was a mistake to let them speak. Two more thumbs down for Robin Hood, Men in Tights, the spoof by Mel Brooks. A lot of the humor seemed tired, slow, and predictable. And 2 more thumbs down for So I Married an Axe Murderer. Although we both thought the Mike Myers comedy had some inspired moments in it, especially involving the character's Scottish parents. Finally, though, 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up for In Search of Bobby Fischer, a thoughtful and inspiring movie about how a young boy's genius for chess is not allowed to spoil his sweet personality. The movie opens in 2 weeks, and it's one of the year's most intelligent films.
And it was directed by a first-time director, Steve Zalian, a screenwriter of some note in Hollywood, and it's an impressive first-time directing job, aided by cinematographer, world-class cinematographer Conrad Hall.
So look for it when it comes out, right? And that's it for this week. Next week we'll be back with reviews of more new movies, including The Fugitive, starring Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones, in the story of a doctor falsely accused of killing his wife.
Put that gun down! Turn around!
That's next week, and until then, the balcony is closed.
St. Ives Swiss Formula Apricot Scrub. St. Ives Swiss Formula polishes your complexion beautifully, naturally. St. Ives Swiss Formula Apricot Scrub. When you're looking for ladies' fashion accessories, shop Afterthoughts, where you'll find over 15,000 earrings and accessories. Afterthoughts, there's one near you in most major malls. Klondike Light Bars, great taste, less fat, 110 calories, and no sugar added. What would you do for a Klondike? Fashion Bug, for the latest in junior, Mrs., plus even girls and men's fashions. 1,200 stores coast to coast. Fashion Bug fits your life.